Hello, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh, from the high balcony deep above the liberal San Francisco Bay Area. And you know, no matter what I do with my hair, I need a haircut. I can't seem to get this stuff combed. I cut chunks out, and it's like a weed. More chunks come out of it. I'm going to have to break out $12 next month and actually get a real haircut instead of doing it myself or have Kathy do it. Looks like I got electrocuted. Anyway, I am here. The kitties are fed. Check hotels.com. The Sheraton for AlienCon is completely booked. Although oddly, they list the price of the room at $144 a night instead of $209. And when you check, they say, well, we can't reserve room for you. There are no rooms for you. There are no rooms available. Then why the hell are you advertising it then? So I spent part of the day looking at Amtrak. It's $103 round trip to LA. I just don't know my back can take 27 hours of sitting on a train. It's like $80 to fly back from LA to Oakland. So I might do that route. By the way, I don't know how hot it is here, but yesterday I really was having trouble breathing all day. I'm out of my asthma medication. I have no allergy medication. My knee was on fire most of the day Friday. My hand is still on fire. It's been clenching up like the claw and hurting. I haven't had time to go see a doctor about that. So, and then I listened to the beginning of Art Bell on Periscope with Madman Markham, and then people said, "Did you hear Norrie's tribute show?" And I listened for about the first 25 minutes until it got to the point where this was not an Art Bell tribute show. They talked about art. Whitley Strieber went to the funeral and said very nice things about art, and Aaron and Daniel Brinkley was there, sadly, of course. No Richard C. Hoagland. I guess the break had been final before Art died, and they said Art had having trouble breathing while he was broadcasting with COPD, and he had finally quit smoking, thank God, but I guess it was too late. But everybody who came on said what a wonderful job George Norrie has been doing with the show. And there are many that do not think he's been doing a wonderful job. He gutted Coast to Coast AM. And the guy that bought the show from Premiere and the guy that bought the show for the network to have him go nationwide, we're all gushing over George Norrie. Now, I have nothing against George. You know that. But I'm going like, this is not what Coast to Coast should be. And there's a lot of bad paranormal broadcasting out there. There's also some very good paranormal broadcasting. Curtis Thornton, Jim Harold, Jim Maillard, Free the Duck, and then there are people I will not mention. And, you know, I was reading a new book, which I haven't shown you yet, about ghosts in hotels. I've got to announce that. And I'm reading about the Hotel Coronado in San Diego, actually, at Coronado Island, and it's haunted. And it would be fun to go down there one day. But instead of going to Scottsdale, Arizona, and getting on the stage and singing with his rock band, now he plans to be on the air tonight, but I'd be making trips to paranormal locations and saying what I've found in EV Trip. And what about, they haven't announced Art's autopsy results yet. The man is in the ground, sadly. I wonder if anybody's going to do an EVP of Art and see if Art's haunting his complex. That would be fun. I'm not trying to cause any problems to the Bell family, but it would be interesting to see if Art would come back. But for every good broadcaster in the paranormal field, there are 5 lousy ones that are unlistenable. And I've listened to a lot of them, probably about 500. This is not counting Coast to Coast AM. So that's where I stand right now. Hello, Christopher. And by the way, there are 2 links out there on YouTube to that tribute show. One keeps dropping the sound, and the other one's full of ads. So I don't know if there are any more. I didn't get a chance to look. And it's just very, very frustrating for me to try to find good content. Now, I know there are other people that have been mentioned to me, and I have listened to some of their shows. My problem is I can't remember names with them anymore, unless it's someone I really like. And then a lot of this stuff is the Nibiru garbage, Planet X garbage. Another thing was a critical thing about George Norrie, in a lot of comments, that he bought into this second coming of Christ, the Antichrist, the end times, and every time I turn on, even when he's not on, they got a guy talking about the end times and prophecies and revelations and Planet X and Nibiru, and I'm going like, gee, if I wanted to listen to Revelations, I'd call up J.C. Webster. So I just don't get it. When I lived in Sacramento, there was a book, The End of the World. I've got another one here somewhere. It's not as good as the End of the World book. And they listed all the cults and all the religious groups that had said the world would end. They were all wrong. And then we know about Heaven's Gate and the guy in Oakland who said twice that the end of the world would come. Didn't happen. And this weekend, or actually, what is it, in 2 days, that the rapture will come and then Planet X will go by the Earth. So I guess we'll know by Tuesday night whether or not some of us, and I presume the rapture will be only Christians, so all the rest of us will be left on Earth to wait the arrival of Planet X that we would have seen already. Not planet. And that's not the Planet X out past Pluto that NASA can't seem to find. So, you really wonder what people are thinking when they go on the air. Now, people ask you, what am I going to talk about? Heck, a lot of times, I have no idea. I was looking at the news today, and couldn't find much. And by the way, invariably, I don't know if it's coincidence or he's actually using the stuff that I talk about, that I send him. First story on the Art Bell Tribute Show, two sheriff's deputies get shot in Florida. I sent George the story within 20 minutes or so when it happened, I think. So, and George does that a lot. I'll send him news stories, 10 o'clock, he goes with that. Now, I'm kind of wondering, what does Tom Denheiser do? Isn't that the job of the producer, to seek out content for the host to talk about? And what is his, what did Johnny Carson say? Monologue. There we go, monologue, yeah. I don't ever use the word monologue, but I guess that's what I'm doing when I start too. And, so... Yeah, Whitney Strieber is very good. I have no issue with that. It's the everybody was calling in. One woman said, I've been listening to you for 25 years. And I just shook my head. Huh? Norrie hadn't been on for 25 years. And everybody was gushing over Norrie. And while they talked about art, it was also a love fest for George Norrie. And I was looking for more, let's talk about art and what art did and all of that. And, stories about art, which Whitley had, but, and which the guy who took the show nationwide had. He said Art called him 12 times a day and on shows that were good and shows that were bad. So that was kind of fun. But that's the sort of content I wanted to hear, not people telling me how wonderful George Norrie is. And I didn't get that. I got a lot of how wonderful George Norrie is and how he's maintained a tradition of coast. Yeah, that's why he has Pat Boone on and Carolyn Jones and people that have absolutely nothing to do with the paranormal. Hello, Forgotten Shadows. You're new here. Welcome. So, So anyway, somebody else say something. By the way, the Alien Con trip is. I found an Airbnb that's a lot cheaper, but it's 3 miles from the hotel or 2 miles from the hotel. So I don't know what to do. I found some down there, they'll say it's $165 for the weekend. Then they charge you fees that goes to $650. No, I'm not giving a rant so much as when you're having a tribute show to a man who is a pioneer in a field, a legend in radio, a legend in ham radio, you don't constantly gush about the current host. You talk about the man who's passed on and what he meant to you and what he meant to the listeners. And I wasn't hearing that in the time I listened until I just couldn't take the constant "You're so wonderful, George" stuff. I couldn't listen anymore. Now I may go back and listen to it again. Yeah, and Whitley said that at one point Art told him he was going to blow his brains out over Ramona dying, and he and Ann rushed to Art's side and got him out of it. So, I wouldn't say disrespect, but this is not all about George Norrie, and that's what it was turning out to be. The more I listened, the more disgusted I was getting. Maybe these people feel like they have to tell George how wonderful he is because some of them are guests on the show. And Peter Davenport didn't say a word about Art Bell. And who would have heard of Peter Davenport if it weren't for Art Bell in the National UFO Reporting Center? Nothing against Peter, but I wouldn't have heard about it if it wasn't for Art Bell. So that bothered me too. Hey, Peter, don't you have anything to say about the passing of Art Bell, the man who got you on the show and got you recognition and a nationwide audience? Didn't get that. Nobody said anything about Heather, so I have no idea. Yeah, I've had lots of experience with the paranormal. By the way, the latest thing, it was in a dream, and I don't know what any of this means, but I was going to do a separate video, I may as well tell you. Last night, I listened to Art Bell, and he was on Periscope, which I didn't know he'd been on this particular episode, all happy and smiling and waving at people, and he's talking to Madman Markham. And I'd had trouble all day, and I was really tired, and a lot of pain, so I fell asleep. And you know those things, you fall asleep and you don't think you're sleeping. Or I just dozed off. Well, this was bizarre. Now, I have been to San Jose, and I've never seen hills like this. I'm in my old Cadillac, my 84 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. And I'm near the freeway, but on a side street. That's well, if I take this street, I can get to this on-ramp. It'll be a shortcut. So I get to the street, and the street's like this, and it's straight downhill. These fingers are red too. My friend Paul said he thinks I had an allergic reaction to the English ivy I pulled. Well, I got to get to the doctor. Anyway, I go down this hill, and there's a bunch of businesses, and then there's a used car lot and junkyard. And the road suddenly goes from asphalt to mud. And a big four-door Coupe de Ville, well, you need to stop. But the problem is my brakes were not there. There was no brake pressure. I had no brakes, as if they had removed the brakes before I got in the car. And I went all the way down this hill, and I'm pumping the brakes like crazy, and I hit a fence. Now, oddly, I didn't damage the fence, so I backed the car up, put it in reverse, go back up the hill in full reverse, looking in the rear mirror, and I grazed the car and didn't do any damage. It was not a good car. It was a junker. And my tires are burning rubber. And then suddenly, like a movie scene, it switched. I'm sitting in a garage. My car is on a hoist or a lift or whatever you want to call it. And this black gentleman comes up, and it's not any racist thing, that's what he was, and he says, "You have to get new plates. We took the plates off your car." And I'm going, huh? And then I see this table, and it's like a long, those foldable tables you see at conventions where they fold up, but they're real long. There's about 12 people, and I only recognize one person. They're all dressed in black leather and goth types, except for this one girl that looked familiar, and I knew her, but when I woke up, I said, I don't know anybody that looks like that. So I had an old friend who lived with me for a while who was a goth. And what's weird about this, my hands are all covered suddenly in motor oil, and her face is completely covered in motor oil, and I made a joke, and now on What's My Line, we have the mystery guest. So then I get up to wash my hands, and she gets up to wash my hands. We switch into a hospital scene. And I go to the sink, and there's no soap, and there's no towels. And I said, every time I come to this hospital, and I don't know what I was battling about, there's no soap or towels. These cheap bastards won't provide soap or towels. So I'm washing my hand as best I could, and she's washing her face in the same sink, and then suddenly... And I had just apparently had done a video before I got in my car and said goodnight. And on the corner of the hallway, like you go down the corridor from the, and this was not a bathroom, it was a sink in the hallway. And in the corner of the hallway, out steps my mother, dressed in the nines, and my father in his usual yellow shirt, green sweater, brown sweater, green pants, looking bewildered. And my mother goes in the ladies' room. Before she did, she said, "Come on," and she never talked to me like this. "Come on, George, you said your show is over. We need to get going." And I looked at my father, and I looked at her, and I said, "Wait a minute, you're dead." And my mother said, "No, he's not. It was there was a plot and a curse, and he had to go into hiding. He's been alive all these years." And that's when I woke up. I'm going like, what the hell was this kind of dream? I know it's off subject, but... and I woke up going like, Now, I know I have some psychic ability, but I don't know what this dream was supposed to mean. Am I thinking too much about Art Bell being dead? Or is my mother and father trying to tell me something? I don't know. So, no, I do not... By the way, we do not allow the mention of the evil one's name on this channel, so I will remove that. Because she was very rude to me and very rude to George Norrie when he was a guest on the Evil Channel podcast. So I've heard varying opinions of her ability to broadcast good and bad. So I'm feeling better. But last night I felt like death myself. I was gasping for air and just really having a hard time breathing. Not that I was in any danger of dying or anything, but it was so damn hot and muggy. It was, and I used all my inhalers and drank hot liquids and took a hot shower, and nothing was helping. So, okay, I listened to George Knapp. That's number one. I've listened to Jim Maillard. I've listened to Bill and Nancy Burns, although they haven't done a show in a while, to the best of my knowledge. There's some other guys. They've had Stanton Friedman on. I think the best guy out there is George Knapp. And I've listened, unfortunately, to Jimmy Church. I've listened to Lisa Garr. I've listened to Richard Surrett. And who's the other guy? Dave Schrader. I don't like any of the weekend hosts except for George Knapp on Coast. So when I find a guy who's really good and I like, there's other guys, they talk too fast, they have voices like chalk and a blackboard, or every other word is an F word, or they start talking about how they got drunk, and I'm going, where's the paranormal content? They're talking about how many beers they had. Now, I'm drinking beer because the other night I bought 2 beers. I could not drink 2 beers, but given the week I'm having, I'm in need of a beer. And this is the only beer you'll see me probably drink for another 6 months. Because I don't drink much beer. No, whoever was on last night, because I tuned in last night at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I forget what guest yet. I listened to the guest, and I turned on my little, I've got this unplugged because it goes crazy. I turned that on, I heard the guest, and I said, I said, computer, stop. So when I heard the guest, I said, that ain't for me, and I turned it off. But he said, George Norrie will be on tonight. So the guy goes out all day, sings and dances on stage, and then goes on coast. So, no, I did not know that George Knapp was attacked. Yeah, talking about fear. Now, I saw the thing, but the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. I got to practice my FDR. I can do it. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy. So, I love John B. Wells, and for whatever reason, I think it's because he was conservative, they kicked him off the coast. I don't know who in the network got rid of him. He was, other than George Knapp, he was the man, and I didn't like Ian Punnett either, so. No, not Carol Channing. I can talk like Carol Channing. She talks like this, sort of, but I haven't practiced Carol Channing because I don't care for Carol Channing. So, Carol Channing, yeah. Next year, only wear a dress. Come on, guys. And sing Jazz Baby from Thoroughly Modern Millie. I ain't doing no dancing. The problem with Ian Punnett, I don't like when they all go into, what happened to Jimi Hendrix and Billy. They're obsessed with Billie Holiday. They're obsessed with with other rock stars that are dead. The guy that died in Paris who may not have died in a bathtub. Jim Morrison, that's it. And I'm going like, if you want to, I want to listen to rock, I can listen to the 1 or 2 minutes that iHeartRadio gives me on current rock stars, and which I don't want to listen to. I don't want to hear about rock when I turn on Coast to Coast. I want to hear Paranormal, and I ain't getting it. Spaten, Beck's, Singtao, Michelob, which I don't even think they make Michelob anymore. German beer. I like German beer very much. So, yeah, I like Linda. Linda knows who I am. I know who Linda is. I will be seeing her. I've signed up for the autograph and the picture. So, and tomorrow I will be taking Talkie to Kathy's. Talkie to Siamese. Opinion on 411. No, I have not tried the beer from Roswell. But I do have some. It's not from Roswell. I was cleaning today. And I forgot I had this. Roswell Conspiracies, Aliens, Myths, and Legends. And I bought this when I don't know if I got rid of it or not. It's in storage or I sold it. I had a Game Boy Color, and there's what the cartridge looked like. So I don't know if I even ever played this or not. But it's still sitting in the box. And there's the big instruction book. I mean, this thing is the biggest instruction book for a game I've ever seen. Oh, no wonder it's in different languages. That's why. French and others. So, And for those who haven't watched the video, oh, and you'll be seeing a video of Kathy tomorrow, at least 2. And I gave her something, and she said, it's the weirdest gift ever, but I love it. So I won't tell you what it is. Just a moment. I have to get up. Which isn't easy. It's going to get worse in here. The closer we get to summer, I'm going to be roasting more and more, so I got to get this place cleaned up. I did 2 shelves this morning. All right. I forgot I put salt in this. Okay, here are my salt and pepper shakers. I ordered these a while ago. They came in Friday, so, and I couldn't resist this, and I got it cheap. So that will sit in my these will not get used. These will sit in my paranormal bookshelf. Haven't talked to George Norrie. Yeah, please do, Billy. UFO Phil, he was on a lot of shows. I'm sick of his song, Aliens in My Basement, because Norrie has played it too much. It was cute with Art Bell, but Art, I think, didn't beat it to death. I could be wrong. Yeah, Art, the guy who directed Art in his episode of Dark Skies, Art played William Paley, the head of CBS, and somebody asked if I seen the episode, and I said, well, it's in the wooden house for my DVDs. I bought Dark Skies years ago, and before I bought it, I got a bootleg copy of Dark Skies, just so I could watch Art Bell. And you'll see some other things this week when hopefully this stuff will be here so I can do my tribute show to Art Bell. Oh, by the way, I have Skype on here, so let me see if I can get it to work. You have to ask permission. I put Skype on the laptop. Now I got to find it, and then I got to see it. I still can't see in my left eye. It's still blurred. And for those who haven't heard, I talked to my optometrist, and she said, after you see your doctor, I will examine you and give you a prescription for reading glasses. But I shouldn't have had to get reading glasses. They'd put the lens in right, I'd be able to see. Now, where is... Oh dear. Bear with me a minute. I got to find the applications folder, which I can't see very well. Why don't they put the applications folder in the system preferences where you'd think it would be hiding, rather than you got to search for it on the damn desktop? I have not put you can't easily on this thing put a, at least I don't know how to do it, link to Skype, so I got to figure out where the applications folder is. Anyway, somewhere on here. What is this? No, that's my library. I fixed one thing. My Bluetooth wasn't working. Alright, let's see. Well, anyway, it's George Senda on Skype. If I can ever find the Skype thing. But I'm going to have to work on this. Go to Skype, type in George Senda, and send me a contact thing, and then maybe you can call me on Skype. That folder seems to have disappeared. I know what I can do. Just a moment. I haven't heard George for about a month and a half when he sent me a thing saying the Art Bell site on 4chan had been removed. So, well, that's not it. That's a Google window, which I didn't know. Let me. might be giving me a Google window when it's on the... yeah, Art had great bumper music. Lori plays these songs over and over again, and emerging artists. There was one guy one night, the guy was talking about elevators. Singing in an elevator. I will go to Art Bell's grave when I get a vehicle, but I don't have a vehicle. And and remember, Art, if you look at Wikipedia, Art is on other venues, other movies and things. When he said he wouldn't do television, he did stuff, but where he is, it's in Wikipedia. God, I can't find it now. This is craziness. Yeah, stop. Evil machine. Behave. Give me applications and nobody gets hurt. And now I get the spinning wheel of death. I talked to a place in Ontario. When I come up in the money, they will sell me another iPad and another Mac. Okay. Finally. Okay. Do not want to use Skype 2 because that will wipe out all my contacts. So I have Jeremy No Joy and maybe Curtis Thornton, but I've had to start over. Alright, Skype is loading, so let's go back to chat. Art loved his bumper music, and he would have all kinds of different songs. We're not going to have shotguns at Art Bell's grave. Literally. Yeah, well, like I said, you're going to have to be with Kathy. We get the Prius or the 4x4. Found one for the price I need today, but I don't have the money yet. And by that, I would remind you, it is now 60 days till Alien Con. So if any of you want to donate, help me. The biggest cost I'm going to have is the hotel room, which is going to kill me. I'll post a link at the end of this broadcast for my PayPal account. Even $100 would help because it's $209 a day plus tax, and I'm never going to do this again unless I have $1,000 saved up, which I will next year after I buy my car. Thunderbird, I don't know where you live. You said you live back east, I think. Yeah, Art was in a video game. I read that. Just couldn't remember the name of it. I can't remember anything else I write down anymore. Too much information going into my brain. I don't know how much fun it would be to visit Art Bell's grave. I wouldn't call it a fun road trip. I would be probably weeping. Someone else would have to take over the driving duties. Auburn will be here Tuesday. He will climb the fence where the friend is and get my pliers, and I'll film that. That will be an adventure. So where are you, Thunderbird? And if I do get Skype to work, I call it the no card line. Yeah, we have. I've talked about it with Kathy. This is excuse me. This is another reason why I want to leave California. Jerry Brown, you know, the Democratic Party always said, we're the party of the common man, the working man, the little man. And you have a governor who soaks the working man, the little man, and the common man for every dollar he can take out of your wallet. Gas prices are $3.25 a gallon right now. Mississippi. Oh, God. Well, I can't say, because let's just put it this way: it's 390 to LA. No, 420 to LA from 30, 423 to LA from here, and probably another 120 or more to Vegas, and another 60 to. We're talking 600 miles. But I wouldn't go Vegas. I wouldn't go down to LA. I'd go through Reno, down the highway, past wherever, Lida Junction and other roads to get to Pahrump. Be a long way, and my dad drove that route in the middle of the night and got lost with it. We went up to Death Valley when I was a kid. So driving a Lincoln Continental, not a hot rod Lincoln. Kathy keeps playing that song. She's enamored of the Hot Rod Lincoln song. So, all right, Thunderbird, have a nice time. Thank you for coming in. Remember, we're being penalized in this state. We were told for years, go green, save on gasoline, don't pollute the air. And then Jerry Brown goes and says, well, we have to fix our roads. So not only will I raise the gas taxes, I will raise the diesel price. I will tax on diesel. I'll raise the tax on regular. And to soak you further, for repaying you for being a green, I will soak you if you own a Prius. Or if you own a hybrid electric car now, you have to pay $100 or $150 extra, because you were environmentally responsible. And the leftists in this state, if they were smart, they would never vote Democrat again because they were betrayed. And the next thing, has been talk of actually charging us by the mile to drive the roads that we already paid for. And I predicted that more than 10 years ago on the other side I used to be on, and all the leftists, you're crazy, it'll never happen. Portland is already doing that to an extent, so is Oregon, and so you'll pay a use tax for the privilege of driving your car. That's why in countries run by dictatorships, they revolt and kill the leader because they're tired. Excuse me. They're tired of the BS. Paying gas taxes is one thing, but the registration went up. There's a guy running for governor, Republican. He wants to get rid of it all. And he said some car registrations have gone up $300, which is ridiculous. Yeah, Jay Leno has said that every time he takes his collector's car out on the road, he has to change tires about every month and a half because of the potholes in L.A. But we already know that L.A. is a hellhole between, like San Francisco, between the human waste, needles, the homeless living in 3 and 4 and 5 block long encampments. Boy, I hadn't really gotten that bad. Gas here in Martinez at the Shell and the new 76, which used to be a Valero and is now a 7-Eleven, is $3.75. So, or $3.50, I don't remember. But I know I made a point of looking at the Quickie Mart, and another place was $3.23. That was for regular. I've got nothing against the homeless. When you have, we have homeless like crazy in this country. And liberal governments in liberal cities, Washington, D.C., New York, San Francisco, Stockton, L.A., Fresno, Bakersfield, you name it, wherever is a liberal, Miami, Chicago, Detroit, Boston, they spend millions on homeless programs, and they never do one thing. The homeless are still in the street. And more homeless are coming in every day. And a lot of them are on drugs. A lot of them are alcoholics. A lot of them are mentally ill. And they build an apartment building for the homeless, and it's got 20 units, and yet there's, 25,000 homeless sleeping in the streets. God knows how many there are in L.A. It's thousands. It's not the homeless, it's what they're doing about the issue is not working. Now in San Francisco, there is no more Skid Row. The Skid Row is now the whole city, where they got free urinals in the parks, defecation in the streets. Rush Limbaugh said the other day that the city is considering literally putting maps out that the tourists could avoid the areas with needles, defecation, urination, homeless encampments. Now, for a city like San Francisco, that was a jewel of a city, to have that degenerated is terrible. I lived in my car too, but you know what? I was not asking people for money, and I went out eventually and found a place to live. And I wasn't, I took a shower every day. I washed my clothes in a laundromat. My cats were fed. Everything was in a rooftop enclosure on top of my car and in the back seat. I slept in the front seat. You have no idea. I'm sure. What? Hello, who's it? Why do they cost you? Look, I took the green shirt off because it was getting kind of gungy. This is a clean shirt. I took a shower earlier, and it's so warm right now. I take a shower within an hour, I'm soaked in sweat. So, I hope you aren't betting on what shirt I'll wear. I've got a new shirt at the post office. It came Friday. And other things are on the way. Because it's time to get some new shirts, but there's a particular shirt I had to get. But I'm not going to say what it is. You'll see it. Should be here Wednesday, I hope. Well, I lived in Oakland for 6 years. I lived in San Francisco for 17 years. And I got to meet a lot of homeless. And while there are families living on the streets, there are families living in their cars and their trucks and converted vans, there are also a lot of addicts and alcoholics out there and mentally ill. And I'm talking about San Francisco. I don't know, and I know Oakland has people, blocks of them living under freeway underpasses, and periodically they sweep under the underpasses, even though a lot of cities are not doing this. Oh, Sacramento has a gigantic homeless problem, living by the river, living in parks, and they're overwhelmed. So, it can't be all homeless families. A lot of these people are single males. And I lived in Sacramento for 10 years. I saw that up in Sacramento. I've seen that since when I've gone up there. You drive through downtown Oakland, over by near Laney College, and you'll see 50 shopping carts full of stuff and tents on the sidewalk. You can't walk down the sidewalk. They're living under the freeways. And Frank, some of those guys are just plain nuts. And that's not anti-homeless, it's a fact. Some of these guys are crazy. And some of them are very scary. They've got Tourette's, they babble themselves, or their brains have been destroyed by crack or drugs or alcohol. And I've looked the figures up, and I've read stories on the homeless. In San Francisco, you look on YouTube, there's stories on CBS about the homeless and about crime and everything going up, and the people who have homes and the people who have businesses are fed up, but the city isn't doing anything about it. I don't think they can. Because we had a city that, come on to San Francisco, and also they come for general assistance, and they get that, and some of them get SSI, and they never leave. They never go look for a job, and some of them are incapable of working, so I know don't mean to be generalizing, but I'm just basing anything I say, I'm basing on my own experience. I can't say about anybody else, but I have known people who were living in their car who were families, and if they eventually found a home, and Habitat for Humanity will do lotteries, and they'll give the first houses to people who have families or homeless. So I don't know where you're getting your information. Based on what I've read, what I'm saying is the truth. Yes, your mother to this day will not tell you to wash your feet, Billy. Look, I've seen guys that they also, let's put it this way, their clothes are their bathroom. So, well, I know that when I would go to the city with Kathy, we would see women and men on Powell Street and around Holiday Plaza, where the Powell Street BART station is, the street guys selling their newspapers, the homeless guys, the begging for change, and the big racket there is dogs and kittens and puppies. And I saw one, and some of them were very nice. And one day I went and saw a woman with 6 kittens, and I went into Walgreens and got some cat food, and she cursed me out. I don't want any effing cat food. I want money. I want cash. And there's some guys standing there, I want beer, I want wine. I've only known, and when I lived in Oakland, on the freeway coming down along Grand Avenue, there was a team. And there were 3 guys, they all used the same sign, and they had a shopping cart. And they would stand up, they're homeless, need help, or, there's also another racket. They stand by the freeway on-ramps in San Francisco, going to the Bay Bridge, and they say they're veterans. So that's another racket, because you see the same guys out there every day, but different guys with the same sign. The 3 guys in Oakland, and one day I looked in their cart, they had tennis shoe boxes, brand new with the white tissue around it, $120 tennis shoes. So I couldn't afford, at the time, $120 tennis shoes. So there's a lot of homeless begging that's a racket. They're not, and these are guys that are able-bodied, they look disabled, and they're working the scamming teams. And then there's the guys who wash your window with a squeegee and a dirty rag, and you're going to give them $10 to tell them to go away. That sort of stuff. Well, we are slowly in this state becoming less Caucasian because of the influx of Latinos and illegal aliens. So, yeah, another thing, there's a lot of homeless at the soup kitchen right now, and the dog of choice is pit bulls, and pit bulls scare the hell out of me. And some of them are very vicious. There's a guy on the bus, and the next time I see him doing this, I'm calling the manager of customer service, whom I now know, and say, you need to do something with this guy, because one day he's going to attack somebody at BART. He was standing there, and his dog was not tied up, and everybody walked by, and the dog lunged at him and growled at him and tried to bite them. So, and by the way, I've got to address Glamorous Gray. He made a comment that I'm sexist. Again, I'm not sexist. When I was 16, I saw my first PDP-1 and IMSI 8080 and mainframe computer playing Space Wars, and guys who made their own joysticks and ribbon cables that they were about twice as thick as this piece of paper. They handmade the first joysticks. And at that 1968, every tech I knew, every computer guy I knew were guys. And they all knew their stuff. And when I went to the West Coast computer fairs, and you could look it up, and Atari fairs and user groups for the PC and the Mac, 95% of the people attending were guys. Now, women would attend because they were using software like VisiCalc and CPM and WordStar and word processing. They knew software. But there were very few women who knew hardware. And the only people that was the exception I saw were Mac users groups. Some of the women knew how to work on their computers, but most of the time they took their computers and had guys work on them. There aren't a lot of people, and I've gone to the Apple store, And the women there are mostly greeters. There's only one woman in the Genius Bar that I've ever seen. And the latest incident I had. So, but I did know people who were assemblers or women, they knew their stuff. They built the computers. But whether or not they could actually probably build a PC or a Mac. But most women don't know tech, or at least in my experience. So, well, 6 weeks, I'm not going to be able to do anything for 2 years. Unless I get like $700 donations, can buy the original land, and then someone wants to help me with $200 a month for the payments. And that's just getting the land. We're not talking about clearing it. We're not talking about putting a concrete pad down, because I got to have my place first. We're not talking about bringing the container. And then if I have the 40 acres, and you are truly homeless, and you know why I suspect you're not, it's all BS. You don't have issues with you. You're more than welcome to come there, help me out, and you'll get a piece of the land. You'll get to live on there. So, that depends on your circumstances. I'm not going to tell you what to say to your wife. She might take umbrage. She might clobber you. I don't know how your relationship with your wife. I haven't looked at that. The police chief apologized to the two black guys, but I heard some soundbite where they were asking for reparations. They wanted Starbucks reparations. I don't know if that's the same guys or not. If Hillary Clinton had become president, it would have been a major disaster. And that's not because I'm a Trump fan. The woman is a serial liar, a con woman, and corrupt as all hell. And that, I'll get flack for that, I'm sure. This is a woman whose family spent $130,000 on liquor on a trip to Israel. Boy, look at all the dust coming in. No wonder I can't keep this place clean. Got the door open, there's dust coming in like crazy. Where do you think who's going to be living in the complex? There'll be me, Abram, and you if you're really homeless. If you're not really homeless, you ain't going to live in the complex. Well, if Hillary had won, first of all, they would have indicted Donald Trump for colluding with the Russians, and they just admitted this week there is absolutely no evidence he colluded with the Russians or anybody else. And the Democrats have sued him for collusion, and that's probably going to be thrown out of court. Yes, liquor is kosher. We're allowed to drink. The Muslims are not allowed to drink. They're never going to lock her up. Remember, they're always chanting, lock her up, lock her up. It ain't happening. I keep waiting for them to lock her up. You've got too many people in the deep state and the anti-Trumpers and the never-Trumpers that are protecting Hillary at every turn. And she said something about something else. Why, Hillary has this list of like menu items why I didn't become president. And she blames everybody else for her own incompetence. Yeah, and she took 20% of our uranium and sold it to Russia, and her brother ripped off the gold out of the poor people in Haiti that had just been devastated by an earthquake. And remember, she did better than Jesus. She turned what, $50 into $100,000 in commodities, and there was the housing. Selling lots or houses, things. She made big money on that. She didn't know anything about commodities, just like Obama knew nothing about the stock market. The green shirt's in the bedroom, but it's sweaty. I gotta wash it. It'll be back. I have my Gray Lives Matter shirt. It's green. It's got to be washed too. Whitewater. Thank you. I don't like, boy, that's foamy. I don't like phonies on either side of the spectrum, left or right. Hillary Clinton is a phony. Bill Clinton is a phony, but the only thing about Bill Clinton, the guy is likable. You know he's lying, but he's a likable liar. I have issues with Mitt Romney. But I have issues also with Harry Reid, who went after Mitt. The Democrats are obsessed with people's taxes. And yet, every time I turn around, who's getting arrested for tax evasion or sent to prison? It's Democrats. Like the guy in Louisiana who had millions in his freezer. Or thousands. And the black congressman in New York who didn't pay taxes on his condo. Some of these guys never go to jail. They don't get thrown out of Congress either. So they're hypocrites. But Mitt Romney, they were saying his dog rode on top of his car, which wouldn't bother me if the dog was in a dog crate and dog was tied down and he was safe. Hell, you got guys with 6 dogs in the back of a pickup and not secured at all. And they're worrying about his dog on top of the car, making fun of him. The big issue I have with Mitt Romney is when he ran Bain Capital and he said Sports Authority is a great company, we're making a lot of money, and then after the election, Sports Authority declared bankruptcy. There's a vacant Sports Authority in Concord, huge building, and there used to be one in Sun Valley Mall. Now it's a bowling alley and arcade. Yeah, some kind of sex cult. I never watched Smallville, maybe 1 or 2 episodes. So, Light Champlain Monster, I've got books on it I haven't read because, I'm having trouble reading. So, I think he was in a crate. I don't think the dog was just tied to the roof of the car without a crate. I could be wrong. Will YouTube allow what? No, I'm not gonna go there, so I'm gonna remove that calm. Please, Tide Pod, don't get disgusting. They'll get me disgusted. Same with you, Who's It. I'm gonna remove that comment too. I'm not going there. Yuck. Well, Bill Clinton, remember, ought to not have sex with that woman. Rush Limbaugh does a dynamite Bill Clinton imitation. And don't start with the magic underwear. Another comment I'm going to remove. I had that last time. I'm not going to have Mormon talk in here either. The episodes I watched of X-Files have been very good. I've enjoyed most of them. So, if I have beer, I'm going to be drinking beer, not putting it somewhere else. Although it also will kill snails, and you can make bread out of it, and you can pour it in stews and cook with it. And I think you can even use it as kind of a bolster for fertilizer, but don't quote me. So, but we have a polarized country because one side thinks Trump is guilty of everything, and yet they ignore the problems of their own party. That those people are guilty of nothing, and they make stuff up. And you may have noticed that Kim Jong-un has suspended his nuclear program and shut down his missile site. We wouldn't have had that happen under Hillary Clinton, I can guarantee that. Hello, Zen. Liquid bread. Yeah. Well, I prefer my bread as bread. I'm getting sick eating bagels, so. I get nervous, I start eating. I polished off the sandwich meat because I'm just too lazy to cook. I'm sick of TV dinners too. Oh yeah, Stormy Daniels. I mean, when did we get where the word of the President of the United States is discounted by a porn star and a Playmate of the Month? Not that there's anything wrong with being a porn star or Playmate of the Month. I don't feel great outrage when someone becomes a porn star. They got to make a living somehow. But, all of these things we find out frequently, they're totally unsubstantiated. And the Playmate of the Month now, she was told to be quiet on a settlement with the National Enquirer. Now she's, free to speak out. She said she had an affair with President Donald J. Trump. And Trump says all of these allegations are baseless and untrue. I tend to believe the president. I don't know if Kim Jong-un is going to stop his missile program. Suspending it is better than him keep building more and more missiles. And, the Chinese weren't putting any pressure on him before Trump. They sure are now. That's another comment I'm not going to allow. That is a sexist comment and a racist comment. So, you get a timeout, Tide Pods. Well, 6 weeks, what am I going to do? You can come out here and sleep on the floor for a while. But I can't make $700 magically appear. It's not like it's Cheerios. For the first land, I need $700 to buy the land and then $200 a month just to have the land. The second land, I need $7,000. I don't have $7,000. I'm more worried about North Korea. The economy is good. The market's good. I don't know about, although I did see something the other day, housing starts are starting to fall, and that's not good. Timeout is you're being bad, you go sit in the corner. And if you don't stop being bad, you're blocked for the day. I'm 60. Okay, look at it this way. Not only am I made Kathy very happy with her gift. She was laughing over it. I'm 66 this month. So in, what day is it, people? 22nd? In 6 days, it's my birthday. So I'm having a birthday beer, okay? I'm not starting to drink. It's not I'm sitting here going, give me another one. All right, 6 week. Give me another 6 pack. And throw it over my head. And, yeah, okay, give me a 12 pack. I drink 2 beers every 6 months. That's it. I don't have the need for it. There's times I just want a beer to have a beer. And not 13, 14 beers like Jeremy. There's other times where beer is my ultimate stress relief. I'm not having sex. I'm not rich. The Swedish bikini team has not showed up at my door. I don't have porn stars molesting me or offering to clean my house and then they can molest me or teach me how to cook or doing my cooking for me. Beer is it. Beer is cheap. Let's see, somebody came in here. I need a full-size screen for this so I can see them. No, I'm not an abusive drunk. Look, I'm a silly drunk. If I tried to drink 3 beers and you were here 6 weeks, hello Deb, I would look at you and you would be hilarious. Even though you wouldn't say anything, I just look at you and burst out laughing, fall on the floor in helpless laughter, and pass out, and then wake up with a headache from hell. That's the drunk I am. Yeah, I have to scroll back up, and there's glare in the screen of the iPad, and there's glare in the screen from the door, so I can't see everything. But I have never had the need to sit here and get plastered off my ass. Now, one thing may have triggered that weird dream last night. I drank a sip of Hennessy cognac and passed out. That may have triggered it, because I hadn't had Hennessy for about 4 months. And I'm not talking about a sip. I mean, like, eat. So, yeah, and that's also what Dean Martin said. So, but the other day, with all the stuff that was going on, my iPad home button not working, and my Mac dying, and Kathy, and hearing the stories about Patty, and, oh, God, excuse me. Nothing wrong except my right foot decided to give me pain. Excuse me for a minute. Just, there's times a man has got to have a drink. Only if you're the one getting drunk, because I'm not going to be the one getting drunk. I have to run the equipment. Call the drunk card line at area 925. By the way, to show you how much Art Bell is in my brain, I mumbled to myself out loud, call the wild card line at area code 702-685-2177. I memorized Art Bell's wild card number. I can't tell you what day it is. I can't remember who's in the news or what paranormal host, but I know Art Bell's phone number. Yes, you're back. Now go figure that one out. I memorized Art Bell's wild card number. That's how much I listen to Art Bell. It's burned into my brain. We do not discuss the evil troll either. So that is the evil sewer gab troll. If the bomb went off, I'd be looking for a potato sack to throw in, and I'm looking for a non-radioactive river. Copied my style, started doing videos, and then talks crap about me and Kathy. So, no, I don't yell at Fuzzy. Fuzzy's my baby. Well, I tell you what, there's already North Korean spies in South Korea. But, in a generation or two, unless the communists manage to subvert every institution in South Korea, you'll see the communism in North disappear. People like to have their own property, their own money, nobody telling them what to do. That's why communist China has gotten so prosperous. People can make money, and they got their own land, houses. A lot of them live in condos, and they're very opulent, but after a while, you start saying, you know what, this communism stuff sucks. I want to have a business and take care of my family. That's called the sun and dust particles. I got my door open because it's too damn hot in here to have the door closed. Yes, I know. And by the way, I saw a squib that came across the screen, but I was busy changing my shirt and getting some water and setting up the podcast. And I think Vern Troyer, the guy who played Mini-Me in the Austin Powers movie, I think he died. You think they're trying to pin Trump on never being in on the Russia? They're trying to find... Look, if Donald Trump dropped a Kleenex on the floor in 1972, that's my bad ankle. My feet are not happy today. They're looking for evidence of it. The bright light is the sun. It is 6:56 and the sun has not gone down yet. But if I close the door, I cannot have the fan in front of me run because it makes too much noise for the podcast. I will roast to death in here. Trump is not going to start World War III with Russia, neither is Putin. Putin's not going to start war with us. Remember, if they start a war and it were to escalate to nuclear, both countries are destroyed, and then and China would get some too, because the Russians launched some missiles to China. What studio light? I don't have a studio light on right now. I have my lamp behind me so I can see the screen. Remember, I've still got a bad eye. Everything's blurry. I'd be quite happy with... I don't have a studio light on. I have the... I have my lamp, which was my mother's. No. The only way I can turn it down is turn it off. It's not a damn... There, now you happy? We still have the sun. Would you want to talk to God about that issue? That's the sun. See, let me lift this up. See? It's called the sun. It's an object the Earth orbits around, but that's not important right now. It takes a while for the sun to go down, you know. It goes like this, and then eventually you have a sunset. Actually, I arranged that. In honor of art, I had the sun. I told God himself, hold the sun, and while I'm doing my broadcast and talking about art, I'll hold the sun in the same spot during my entire broadcast. It will not move. No, you got a timeout. If you said something disgusting, you got a timeout. You're not kicked off. We are orbiting the sun. That's what I said, not the other way around. Now, I cannot see. I can't see that either. Alright, it's there. It's about, that clock may be a little off. Right now it's 80 in here. I'm dying. So it's 6:55 p.m. And normally the sun starts going around here right now about 7:20. Now, of course, we get later in springtime, heading towards summer, it'll go down about 8:30. No, I don't have a curtain. I have a screen door, which is closed, but the sun's coming through the top of the screen door. I saw excerpts of The King of Comedy. I don't remember when that came out, what I was doing, and you'd have to tell me the year, and I could tell you what I was doing. No, I'm not going to paint the windows. If I paint that window, no air comes in here, and I also roast. And you can't have a permanent blind there, because housing will say it's a fire hazard. Sheesh. If my Mac hadn't died, I'd be doing this in the bedroom. Werewolf. Chupacabra is like an armadillo or something, although some say there's ones that stand on their hind legs. Mega Roswells, mega Roswells for all of eternity. All hail the Emperor of Nye. Okay. Next comment about my door. You're getting blocked. I'm tired of it. Okay. Bye. Fed up. I'm glad every day to be alive. I thank God for that. Yes, I think the Loch Ness Monster is real. No, I've not seen a chupacabra. Now, you're saying who would win the fight? Is that the Loch Ness Monster versus the chupacabra, or is that chupacabra versus a werewolf? I don't know. I suspect the chupa might because it has long, sharp claws and it's smaller than the werewolf. Yeah, I have books on the dog, man. You gotta have some respect me, guys. I have a limited amount of money to do things, but if I put a curtain there, no air will come in this and all, and I will wilt. And I'm an asthmatic. I have to have air. I didn't say you, Billy. That ain't gonna work. The damn iPad won't stay up. That's because I'm sitting on the cord. Dude. Now that might be a little better. I don't know. I heard the show, and there was a lot of how wonderful you are, George, and you've carried on traditions of coast and yada 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 yada. I couldn't listen anymore. And as to Mel's holes being fake, I don't know. All I know is he said the government bought it, fenced it off, and he couldn't even go on his own property. Mel threw a refrigerator down the hole. That's what struck me. He tied a cable to it, like 200-300 feet of cable, and threw a refrigerator, and he never heard it hit. Uh-oh. Hold on. We have a cat emergency. Fuzzy! Just a moment. Cat emergency. Fuzzy! Fuzzy! Fuzzy, 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 fuzzy. Fuzzy. Oh, God. Fuzzy. Oh, Jesus, cat. Oh, baby. Yuck. Fuzzy, fuzzy, fuzzy. Oh, shit. I gotta get fleeced up next week. Fuzzy was coughing up hairballs. What? All right, Carlo, what's your problem with the show? Fuzzy has a problem. She washed herself and then she coughs up hairballs. No, Kathy's not going to dress up as a black-eyed child. She's not into the paranormal. She's into monsters from movies. Oh, that's cute. Not bad. I just... You said George is a classy guy, but not a show. No, I thought you were referring to me. Remember, we're both named George. Thank you. I misunderstood because... Okay, let me explain it to you one more time, Lucy, so you understand. Kathy does not do costuming. We make one up, or she goes as somebody makes one up for her, or she goes and buys one, but she couldn't sew for her life. I think that's nice. Who's it? His wife made him curtains. Was that the same? Who was the guy whose wife wouldn't give him a sandwich? Was that who's it? I don't know if she likes Tim Burton or not. She thought the first or second Batman movie with Michael Keaton was disgusting. She can't stand Tom Cruise. She didn't like Robin Williams. A lot of people she didn't like. But she likes Alien and Predator and Freddy Krueger and Jason, all the very veritable highlights of humanity, you know. I've heard of the Water Babies, but I haven't read them. Hyuna. No, I don't think I did, but then I'm scrolling through this stuff and I forget stuff. I apologize. I took a friend to Edward Scissorhands, $7.50 a ticket at a time when the tickets were like $2.50. So that made me cringe, and then I went out of the movie and I went, what the hell was that? There's only two Tim Burton movies I liked. Mars Attacks and The Nightmare Before Christmas. So, this is why I missed my third iPad. I could look stuff up while I'm on doing a video. We thought the Penguin, Danny DeVito, both of us thought it was absolutely disgusting. Boy, it must be desperate for a Saturday night. There's nothing going on. Hello, Zen. Let me look what happened with Skype here. I sent a thing to Curtis. Jeremy says he didn't. Oh, that's why. It might help if I signed in. Hold on. This computer has issues. When I try to sign in, it has problems at times. Well, that should have worked. What the hell? It's not doing anything. I think that's my Skype name. Well, I'll have to play with this later. So much for Skype. I hate Skype. It never works right when I work on it. Hold on, let me try one other thing. Maybe that's it. Still getting nothing. Oh, that's why. Forgot to put my name in. They're coming to take me away. They're coming to take me away. La 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 la. They're coming to take me away. There we go. Nope, didn't like that one. Hold on. Quit chatting, people, for a minute while I try to fix this. I didn't write it down. I keep relying on my memory, which is faulty. What? Oh, God. I thought that was my... Try one more. No. My passwords are not working, so I'll have to play with Skype later. Get it working. Let me go back to chat. Excuse me. Yeah, you did. Complain about I should ask God to fix my Mac. So, bye-bye. Don't give me any BS. Don't put up with it. Okay. Give me a moment to get my eyes working. That was it. I only had one beer. No, Abram is not here tonight. He'll be here Tuesday. Tracy's not here. I need the iPad. Trust me, I need the iPad. How do you think I do the videos? What do you think the video is doing right now? It's the iPad. No, I've not heard of the Dumbarton Demon. I'm not going to have someone tell me to ask God to fix my Mac and then complain about the light in my door. I'm sorry. It's enough for me. I didn't buy a 12-pack. I bought 2 beers and some cognac, and I didn't have enough for an ice cream bar. So, with me. This show is about the paranormal and whatever I feel like talking about. I don't have a MAGA hat yet. I'll let that one go. I don't know what Heather Wade said about George Knapp. But let's put it this way. From what I've been told and from what I've heard, Heather Wade's toenail couldn't do the broadcasting job that George Knapp has done on and off coast for years. And we're not allowed to say that name, you know. So I'll let it go. I have to remove that comment. She's part of the President Donald J. Trump has anti-Trumpers, and I have anti-George Senda people. So it's part of the cabal, the deep sewer. Well, the problem is when I have brought... People have asked me to do videos for them and then said they would pay me for them, and I never got paid. So, what? A bloodthirsty vulture? I have listened to almost every George Knapp show ever. What the hell is she talking about? What is she smoking or drinking? Yes, I know she supposedly, I do not know any of these things for certain, but supposedly, I didn't know she bought Art's guest house. I know she was living in it, supposedly. But I would, that would be something I would have never done with Art Bell, unless I became homeless and I needed a place to stay, maybe. But then it would have been... Okay, Art, you've got 87 cats. Can you stand another 13? 14? How do you get back in here when I blocked you? You're gone. How are you getting back in? Oh, I don't know if she did or not. But if the funeral, according to Whitley, was for locals and a couple of people. So, well, that makes me really angry. Because Heather was disrespectful to me, disrespectful to George Norrie, and now she's disrespecting a great broadcaster like George Knapp. And remember, George Knapp broke stuff on Bob Lazar and John Lear and all of that. Bob Wilkins died a long time ago. I don't have Super Chat. I'm not monetized yet. I can't do Super Chat. YouTube has said end of April I'll be remonetized. Oh my God. I've got the wrong password 6 week. I did it from memory, and I'm gonna have to reset the password, and I don't have time right now. I just don't. I can neither confirm or deny what people say about her because I don't want to get a bunch of trolls attacking me or get my live broadcast removed for 3 months as they've done in the past. Well, if you have 200 YouTube accounts, you're probably the pervert in Maine, and that's against YouTube rules. So I'm not going to chill. I'll keep blocking you, or I'll just go off the air. Now, we don't talk about her sexual problems, so I'm removing that comment. That's uncalled for. And I'd like to know, for someone who was supposedly homeless when she started and jobless and on disability when she started being a producer, where did she get $85,000? Of course we're being attacked. I speak the truth. It's probably Crappio or someone from the evil website. He keeps coming in there as Cheeseburger or Rotten Meat Burger or whatever the hell his name is, and I'm going to keep blocking him until he knocks it off or leaves. Now yeah, but the thing is, here's a guy with a wife, a new baby, a child. You know, I don't want to read about someone's menstrual period, okay? It is sexual. It's part of a woman's sexuality and her biology. I banned you because you're being a jerk. Hold on. He just said really something disgusting, so this jerk is ruining the chat for everybody else. Yes, of course, yes, Crappio is Casio, and it's probably Casio or somebody else from the evil website. Well, I reported him as harassing me. So, keep doing it, jerk off. I got all night. And I removed you for good reason. You gave me a bunch of crap. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Harass somebody else. Harass the evil broadcaster. who insults a great broadcaster like George Knapp, who's won Emmys, by the way. Of course I talk about the paranormal. You're being a troll too. Bye. Yeah, I got so mad I forgot to call my jag off. My God, someone attacks George Knapp. And, you know, the people on that site, when Art quit the first time because of his back issues, they got all over him for it. When they were cheering him on for coming back to the air. Then he went to Sirius and he quit after 6 weeks. They got all over him for it. Then he started Midnight in the Desert. They got all over him for him when he quit that because he was being shot at. And they go, it never happened. Well, I'm not going to quit. I'm not a quitter. Now, he just left me another message saying I'm a turd. Yeah, I can stop you. Hold on. I don't know how he gets back in here. I have to go out for a minute. Uh-oh. Just a minute. Something's wrong. Oh, dear. My iPad's running out of power for some reason. Maybe it's drawing. I had it hooked up to the MacBook. Maybe it's drawing too much power. What did I do here? I did. Well, good for George Knapp. I tried to put links here. You can't put a link in here, so. You know, Heather Unpronounceable, Heather Unmentionable was nothing without Art Bell. And she should be, you know, I don't get started. No, they're not ruining it. I'll just keep blocking them. That's all. I got all night. I'm retired. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I got the pet squeakies tonight. He squeaked at me, and I said, "You're my baby. I want to give you petting." And he backs off, and he finally hid when I came back. And he talked to me, went, "Meow, meow, 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 meow." And I said, "You're the baby. Babies are for petting." I'm not going to curse anyone. You know what? For all I know, this is Heather Wade doing this. I don't know. Oh, you know what this jerk says now? He's going to ban me socially. Oh, I'm really worried. I'm really worried. I'm 66 years old. I live alone in my apartment. My girlfriend's 13 miles away, and I do YouTube videos. How is he going to ban me socially? Ooh, I'm scared. And the only person I know with 200 accounts is Crapio. Well, she says she is a Wiccan. We don't allow that name to mention her. I had to mention her first name, but because she mistreated me and George Norrie, and now George Knapp. I'm surprised she hadn't stop mentioning her name. I'm surprised she hasn't gone after Art Bell in the grave. Yeah, I cursed 6-week tenure and his wife for all the crap that was going through me. I can be taken to task for calling some of the W word, so I'm not going to do it. And I mentioned this in a previous broadcast. You see, Crapio is part of the Little Chris, evil owner of the website, and the other people on the dark sewer that have gone after me ever since I got on the evil website. I lifted the curse. But you see, your former wife may have more powerful magic than I. And I know the power of the dark side of being a witch, but there is also the light side. And I am not a witch. I'm not a warlock, but I can tap into the goodness. That I have doubts on. But who knows with her. It's very sad these people come in and disrupt the live stream. But when you say I should have asked God to repair my Mac, I would not ask the Lord for such a triviality. I asked the Lord for good health for me, the president, my friends, my family, my cats, my viewers, and people I know. And if I'd known Art Bell would have been as ill as he was, I certainly would have asked to help Art Bell. All right, I can't cast spells. I just send out energy. All right, just a moment. Who is this again? Now he called me the C word. Back in again. And he's really stupid. The sun would charge my Mac. There are no solar Macintoshes, to the best of my knowledge, unless Tim Cook has a new project we haven't heard about in the works. Okay. I will be right back. Oops. What happened? Yes. I'm being harassed by Crapio, I think. Or Heatherweight. I'm live, but this guy is constantly coming in and giving me crap and calling me the C word and everything else. Yeah. And I went on at line at 5:30. We were having a good conversation. This jerk keeps coming on and giving me a ration of crap. It's always fun. Look, I'll talk to you later, or you'll see me in the morning. All right. It is? Oh, it is. Oh, I lost track. Okay, I gotta go. All right, see you later. I had 25 people in here a minute ago, but he's got in here disrupting the chat. I lost track. Okay, I gotta go. And I like doing what I'm doing, and people are enjoying me, and he has to come in and be a jerk. So, okay, see you later. Bye. Kathy. Well, it'd be a little hard. She's 13 miles away and on the phone, and I can put her, I've had her on the phone, as you well know, but I'm too busy dealing with a jagoff who won't leave me the hell alone, and who, has to ruin it for everybody else, and who has 200 channels, and the only person I know who has 200, he just called me a dumbass. He's getting attention, that's what it is, You're not allowed to have 200 channels on YouTube, so it's a violation of the rules. And the only person I know that has 200 channels who's been suspended repeatedly. Okay, Billy, do not mention the name. Gee, I should get a cut. We don't have a car. I go, we're saving up for it. We don't have a car. Every time they suspend Crapio, he changes his name from Robert Robinson III to Robert Robinson II to Robert Robinson IV to Rubio to whatever name he calls. Casio Shoe Licker or whatever the hell it is. So, no, I don't have 200 channels. I got a channel. One channel. He's a double convicted child molester who just got his computers taken away, so he's apparently back on the internet because he was filming the children of a state legislator, and the cops came into his house. And he's not Amish. Abram is not Amish. I don't ask about his religion. It hasn't come up. He's my friend. See, now, I was having fun. Why do you keep coming in here? You know every time you come in here, I will remove you. You're harassing me. You're disrupting my channel. And somehow you're getting around my blocks. So Casio knows all about YouTube. I'm sure it's Casio. Abram is not my son, just a friend. And he's a good friend. And he will learn welding and will help me build my container house, and he'll build his second container house of his own, and he'll probably help 6 weeks build his. No, I have not watched Breaking Amish, nor Amish Mafia. I don't watch the Amish. The only Amish thing I ever watched was Weird Al Yankovic. And we don't mention Mennonites on here. We get started with every broadcast. Someone mentions Mennonites, so no Mennonite mentions. I don't even know what a Mennonite is, but I don't want to. I don't want to mention over. Police won't do anything about the internet. I've talked to them. All right, I give up. How do you make... They don't use electricity. Where do you get this to make it from trees? The part of the thing about the Amish, they do not use modern conveniences. All right, we don't talk. No anti-German comments. I happen to be of German ancestry, and that's not racist, but it's something. Nothing against Quakers. I ate their oatmeal all the time. So, what of it? They got the money, they can use electricity. Okay, I just go, you get a timeout. I just told people not to use Mennonites. You don't get about the Germans. Don't get about anybody. You know, Nixon was a Quaker nominally. Now, Armour will probably shoot the bull and shoot the cow and butcher it and make meat out of it. I don't know what he'll do. But the top 100 words I would use before people started using Mennonites never even popped in my brain. What is this fascination with Mennonites? No, he tried to enlist in the Navy, and his injuries were not. He had a facial injury. He can't go in his eyes. So don't milk an Amish bull. Yeah, the Amish malt liquor bull. They don't drink liquor either, I don't think. I like instant oatmeal. I can't make Quaker oats. Kathy can make Quaker oats. She makes cream of wheat. I love cream of wheat. Look at that pillow. Okay, I'm going to... No, he's going to learn how to drive. He had a fall and injured the nerves in his face, I think. I'm not clear on that. I'll ask him when he shows up on Tuesday. I have a life, Jagoff. No, I don't know why he has a beard. That's his business. I accept people. The ones who are nice. Abram, he has a facial injury from a fall. He's had a rough time. His mother died of cancer, and he was harassed at work and all that, so... It's up to him. He may have issues that he can't see the beard. I constantly miscut my hair because I can't see it. And it may be a religious thing. He may not want to trim the beard. Who knows? I don't know. I'll ask him when I see him on Tuesday. Did you guys worry about things that... I'm not going to curse him with that. He wears glasses. You guys worry about stuff that, I would never even occur to me. A Floby? What is a Floby? I don't believe... He's not a Muslim. I know that. I don't know what a Floby is. I can't Google it while I'm doing this. I lose the chat. Why me, oh Lord? Niagara Falls. Oh God, hold on. You me. Oh boy. Excuse me, the mucus is working overtime. Yes, I've been to Niagara Falls with my parents and with my aunts and uncles. I loved Niagara Falls. Okay, let's start taking notes here. Floby. And what the hell is this? Yuna, anything else? I mean, like I've got my life to look up Google stuff here. Ow. And that hurt. That hurt my hand. Now, I'm going to do something I was going to do on a video. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. It's supposed to be for my knee, but I'm going to try it on my hand. How many of these are there? I think there's only one. There's one. I'm not sure what side to put it on. I think it's the other way. Ah, it feels weird. Okay. Okay. No, I am not going to ride a barrel off, because remember, most people have, and that's what I put in my hand. This is a lidocaine patch. It's supposed to stop pain. No, I've never been to Paris. It's full of Parisians. Don't know any third. No, this is a prescription lidocaine 5% patch. You may remember on Emergency, the TV show with paramedics, they used to use a lidocaine drip. Don't have any hydrocodone, and I'm allergic to codeine, so. It's not gangrenous. If it were gangrenous, it'd be, you know, it may be infected, but I've been a little busy with all the other stuff. Now, if I had time, I would go out and get some moss, make a poultice out of it, and put it on my hand. Well, tomorrow I'm going with Kathy. Going to Kathy's Take Talkie. Tuesday, Auburn will be here. Wednesday, I have to wait for my food. I will go on Thursday to the ER. I'll manage. I've been putting it under hot water every chance I get, and that helps for a while. It's probably infected. Because right here, and the left hand hurts too. This is why I don't think it's gangrene. I think it's an allergic reaction to the English ivy I pulled. And right here, this broke open, but it also it also cracked on several fingers of this hand and got infected. They're both infected. Now, I don't use drugs unless the doctor prescribes them. I have no idea, Billy, and I'm not going to go there either. My doctor gave me the lidocaine patches because I was having agonizing pain in my kneecap. I don't have gangrene. Even I could smell gangrene. Yes, I watched The Fall Guy. Don't have any damn turmeric, and after Nori pushing it so much, I'm sick of hearing about it. You could. I'd have to take the iron and put it somewhere. Gangrene is rotting flesh. It's bacteria. It's pus and bacteria and rotting flesh and decay, and it smells like death. No, I've not done medical marijuana. Yes, I watched Dukes of Hazzard. Remember, it's something else. If I go to the hospital, it's a 20-mile round trip, and it takes all day, and then I have to hope I get the hell out of there before the buses stop. I can't get home. And this thing hurts. So we will see if this alleviates the pain. Billy, it's time to give you a timeout. You're getting into scatological things of my personal stuff. And I think 6 week, you're doing some things I don't like either. Please stop. Thursday, I'll get up, I'll go feed Tiny One, and I will go on Thursday. It's an all-day trip. If I leave here at 10 o'clock in the morning, because the buses are free between 10 and 2, I'll get to the ER at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It takes 2 to 3 to 4 hours to be seen, and then they generally don't release me till 6 o'clock. When I've gone there before, the last bus to go home is 6:30, because otherwise I got to walk 3 miles to BART. I don't feel like walking 3 miles. I didn't say you were doing scatological things, but I don't want to read about your nose. No, it's not a banned thing. I just, some of this stuff, I have no idea if gangrene is contagious. Some of this stuff is starting to churn my stomach and get me angry. And I can't find my cell phone fell on the floor somewhere, and I've tried to use Uber and it doesn't work, so I can't use Uber. Mostly the evil website's owner, trolls in general, the evil purported purveyor of the black arts who runs a podcast, who may not be running a podcast anymore, and the evil pervert Crapio in Maine, and I don't know what else. Well, it's probably out of power now. I don't have another beer. Okay. Now this guy is being a total troll. Icicle trip on. He's probably hamburger coming back. Yeah, it should be a happy date. I'm getting pissed off. I'm gonna lie down. I don't do giggling well. Hold on a minute. I gotta fix this. I come on there to have fun. That's not gonna work. You can't see me at all, which might be an improvement. There's a giggle. There's a giggle. Or a laugh or something. I'm not here to be I hit the mic button again. Sorry. That was my fault. Not the evil trolls. I hit the mic button on the iPad and there we go. Okay. You know, 25 people are enjoying themselves, and there's 2 jerks. Remember, I can't see well, and when I move the iPad, I hit the mic button. Yes, I'm back. I'm also front. It not only makes you mad, it makes you feel very sad that they want to ruin it for everybody else. If you don't like my damn channel, get the hell out. And don't ruin it for other people. They are enjoying themselves and having fun. That's the whole point of this thing, other than the paranormal. You're not talking about the paranormal. I talk about the paranormal a lot, but there's times I'm going to the doctor Wednesday. Screw Thursday. I'll go it after 11 o'clock. This is really hurting. I thought this might help, and it ain't helping. But I'm not here to have people give me grief. And they, you know, a lot of it's directed from the other side. A lot of it's directed from the fans of you-know-who in Erie, Pennsylvania, which I have nothing to do with. Because these people are just plain evil. They're mean-spirited people who want to make me miserable and everybody else miserable, too. And they get their rocks off on it. That's a terrible thing. I'm not going to call an ambulance. It's $1,000 to call an ambulance. Yeah, I'm not calling the FBI. No. I didn't hit my hand on my knee. It just started, the pain still going up my hand. The state has to pay the ambulance service, so it's free for me, but it's not free for the state. They're shelling out money. I don't like doing it. This hand is hurting too now. I think I've got an infection. It's an allergic reaction to the English ivy. I once had the ambulance call for me when I got hit in the head. I got a cut right here. And somebody called the ambulance. I didn't call them. And I got a bill for $1,500. So, when I called them up, I said, I didn't ask for no damn ambulance. Well, it's not gangrene. I don't know what it is, but I will have it looked at. Cutie, I've seen the bills. It costs a minimum of about $1,000 for every ambulance call. You can look it up. Somebody pays for it. The ambulances are not working for free. They got to get paid for the EMTs, the equipment, the medications, the supplies, the gasoline or diesel. No. Medi-Cal is not the issue here. I don't like to call the ambulance unless it's absolutely needed. There have been 8 or 10 times I've had to call an ambulance, couldn't breathe. This is not ambulance material unless it gets so bad that I'm screaming. And this hand is going numb. Yeah, I had a tetanus shot within the last 5 years. I don't know how you'd get tetanus from a plant. I didn't hit any kind of metal. Unless when my pliers went flying, that might have cut my hand, I didn't know it. I had my pliers, man, they went over the fence. Stop, but no, it's not ivy green, it was English ivy. And I don't think it can cause gangrene. No, do not have... Well, the skin was red. The fingers were red at the site of the cuts 2 weeks ago. And I kept thinking it would get better. They've healed. No, I did not get rabies. I haven't seen a raccoon. I've seen one raccoon in the last month. They're not around right now. I don't know why. Dumpsters are full, but they can't get them. Somebody dumped a carpet there and took a whole dumpster full today. But my hand keeps going like this and hurting. And it's really hard to move the fingers. So I don't know what that means. Hear me trying to move my right hand. And when I do that, it might be carpal tunnel, not an infection at all. I don't know. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Well, I think my Mac just locked up again. My MacBook. I'm seeing flashes on the screen again. I don't know where that's coming from. Yep. I think my Mac is... I think when this happens, I think my Mac's getting attacked because the entire screen... I think Mr. Hamburger, Casio, knows all about computers. I think I just got hacked. I don't even have a mouse cursor right now. There we go. Hold on. Nope. I got nothing. My computer is locked up. Alright, I don't know how they're doing this, but they're doing it. I've got the spinning wheel of death now. And Crappio is the guy who published my home phone number on YouTube, also in violation of the rules. Well, I gotta restart the computer. If it will restart. Okay, restarting the MacBook. This is what I go through. Put that down for a minute. I apologize. I do not have the chat right now. I will restart Firefox and go back in. This happened the last time too. I think they're getting into my computer somehow. That's why I need all new equipment and a new internet provider. That's why I need to move. Take all the equipment, change the hard drives out, change internet providers, get rid of the router. Excuse me. And it gets Kathy really mad when people screw at me too. She doesn't like it. She thinks it's unfair. She thinks it's unfair. And she's right. I haven't done to these people except complain about them. Of course, in a perfect world, I'd have my own show, my own website designer who would block this kind of stuff, and a producer, and real guests, and phone calls. God knows what the trolls will do with me, them calling in. Try to have some standards. They won't let me even do that because they hate having the truth told about them. They're jerks, among other reasons. Okay, I'm back in. I don't know where the progress of the chat is or anything else right now. So I don't know if this thing, according to my iPad screen, it kept going. He's back. Why don't you just go away and stop disrupting my podcast? I did not block you for a stupid reason. And it's my channel. I have the right to moderate anyone. No, you don't have the right to harass anyone, internet or not. I don't care who you are. I don't have a way to contact, what's his face, Keith Rowland. I used to email him, and somehow my emails did not work, so. Yes, I know we're linked, supposedly. Okay, I don't know what this 100 is with Kathy. Does not have a longbow. I don't know what this 100 is here with Tune 2015. I'm not in the mood with any problems, so. I don't know. It's the first I've ever seen of it. Of course, they'd have to build me all equipment in here and get me a new Macintosh and a proper router and show me how to use it. And I don't have any of that equipment. So. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I apologize. All right, let me unblock your message. Remember, I am an old man. I don't know what. Is the current lingo, as Rush Limbaugh says. So, if someone has his email, please email me and let me know. I could do it through YouTube, but I don't want to I don't want to have my computer crash. I mean, this is a 9-year-old computer. I need new equipment, and Midnight in the Desert, with its vast sum of available funds, if there are any left, would have to come in here, and I don't even have a phone jack in the living room. They have to come in and they get me a new Mac, I'd have to switch internet providers to get rid of the hack. And there's an active force going into my router that I've been confirmed by my internet provider that someone is tapping my internet from the outside. So I have to switch to Comcast or somebody else, AT&T, I don't know. And I owe money to AT&T, I refuse to pay. So they'd have to come in and get me a new Mac, get me the router, get me the... I could get a router through Comcast, pay the Comcast bill off, new Mac, new iPad, and a mixer and a way to take phone calls. I already know how to do the mixer and the phone calls. I am not going to move into Art Bell's widow's home. I respect Art, I respect Aaron, I respect Asia, I respect baby Alexander. That would be something I would not do unless they heard me and said, we think you could take over Midnight in the Desert. That would be disrespectful of Art's memory. Now, if they got the offer from Aaron, I would seriously consider it. And then I'd have another problem. Where am I going to put 13 cats? There's already cats there. I have to have something built for the cats. I can't let the cats stay here and starve. No, Asia has not contacted me. I can't let Orangey and Squeaky and Gray and Pretty One, Original Pretty One, and Tiny, and with Mama Cat, Papa Cat, Kitten, and my three all starve. Yeah, but I don't know if I can fit 13. It's hard enough to have 3 cats in here, and this place is small. I need an actual real big house with each area for the kitties. Squeaky's is letting me pet him now, but he still backs off. He goes in reverse like this. And tonight he went under the gate. And with Squeaky's. No, I haven't yet. I just got her address. Okay, Billy, you get a timeout. You know that name is not allowed. You could live in the carrot patch. You could live in Ramona's carrot patch. And the lettuce patch. There's a beautiful, long-haired orange cat that comes up to me and squeaks, and he's very silly because he runs away when I want to feed him. He wants to have there's a deck back there. He wants to only eat on the deck, and he runs away when I want to feed him and when I want to pet him, and he's a long-haired orange tabby, and he's beautiful. He looks like my beloved Cuttlebug. And he's original Pretty One. The new Pretty One, who's brown, a mottled brown cat. She's also Pretty One, but she's a girl, he's a boy, and so that's why he's original Pretty One. Now, you know, if Glamorous or Gray were nice, he'd solve this problem. Bring the fleet of ships down, load me, the cats, and everything else, and find some empty patch and land outside Pahrump and have his aliens build us all the kitty broadcasting complex, and then we could be the kitty broadcasting company, and we could beam it up to space so the Greys could have something to listen to. And since we have a cat named Gray, which is honoring not Gray the color, but Gray the alien, they should feel obligated. And since I constantly advertise Gray aliens at every chance I get, because I respect the Greys, then they should assist me. No, I have 3 of my own, and I feed 13. Actually, technically 14, because there is a Gray. No, not Gray. I'm getting tired. He's a black and white tuxedo cat that I call Bully Cat. He pushes the other kitties out of the way, and he eats wet food like crazy. And he shows up and eats the downstairs kitties' food. So there's 14. Yes, there are billions and billions of planets filled with life. Of course, what kind of life, I do not know. It could all be one-celled animals, for all I know. I really doubt that I am mentioned in Art Bell's will. I have a theory that I may have been abducted, because I get weird cuts appearing in the morning that weren't there when I went to bed. And I'm not, maybe I'm rolling over and hitting this stupid sofa bed, but I go like, what the hell is that? And I get a cut at my thumb or my hand, and it wasn't there when I went to sleep. Even if it were Art Bell's will, it'd still ask Aaron for permission. It's what you do. Sad, they have a big spaceship to lift me. Need an extra wide spaceship. Maybe that triangular UFO we saw last year was monitoring me and Kathy. Look, it's that fat guy on YouTube. Yeah, you got the lesbian probe 6 weeks by mistake. Oh, or the bisexual probe. Oh, God, I'm in fun here. You be. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a tartan that's big enough to lift. I got in trouble lifting it. Hello, Sam. And today, Doctor Who announced the TARDIS has a hernia, tried to lift George off the planet Earth. I don't know if that'd be right. I mean, Nori has his audience. By the way, to show you the kind of person I am, I haven't put a note down there yet, because I'm having trouble writing this. I went out the other night, and I asked somebody, and I said, is this yours? And they said, no. Someone lost these in the bushes by the driveway, and I have to write a note downstairs. Have you lost these glasses? These are prescription glasses. I don't think Tommy would allow it. Kathy feels the same way. I won't say what Kathy feels, but she thinks that Tommy was unjustifiably threatened by me. I might break them. I don't want to break them. They are somebody's. I look like Ben Franklin or William Shatner. A fat William Shatner. There you go. Here's the glasses. You know what? I can see through these damn things. But now it blurs everything. It's not my prescription, I'll tell you that. I just looked at the sterno cans, they're all blurred. I just sent a psychic message to Tommy. Now we'll see what happens. Wasn't anything bad. Anybody got to get me the turmeric? I mean, I could have bought some at, actually, to be honest with you, with the turmeric, I was afraid of the turmeric. I didn't know, what if I'm allergic to it? Get deathly ill. What if it would give me noriitis or something? I don't know. You know, if you've got noriitis, there's no cure, you're going to die. I don't know. There's a dirty joke like that Buddy Hackett used to tell, but I'm not going to repeat it. First, they're going to turn green, and then they're going to turn yellow. So, this stuff looks weird. It's brown. It's light brown. It looks like sand. Yeah, well, you know, the nearest drugstore is 3 miles away. And like I said, I have a weird immune system with all the asthma and the problems I have with various allergies and all that. And, oh, God. I'll stop leaning on my hand. I don't know what it would do to me. I could take one bite and keel over. I'm afraid to use the damn stuff. Boy, such a headache I'm getting. Oh. Actually, I am feeling something here. Whether that's 6 weeks message or I'm just feeling pain in my eye, I don't know. Backwards man, Tom Green Wall. Oh, Tommy Dennis. Hello, Tracy. Yes, I am live tonight. Pardon me. I have no idea who Tom Green is. I'm fine, except I had a troll named Barfburger or something come in here and harass me for about a half an hour. That's disgusting. All right, give me a timeout. Put my hand on my nose, couldn't breathe. That'll be his new name, Barfburger. Now, soon to be a new movie. They'll have Barfburger 1, Barfburger 2, and a chain of restaurants called Barfburger. And I won't get any money out of it. Oh, that Tom Green. Yeah, I've heard of him. No, I've never. I don't. I understand what speaking in tongues is. I got enough trouble speaking in English with my teeth missing and my tongue getting in the way. The Lodge. But I don't do Canadian much, you know. Jerry is supposed to send me another package. I'm still waiting. He must be having trouble selling refrigerators. Oh, that hurts. Let's turn this way. I never thought I'd have a video cast where people would give me crap because the sun was out. That's another thing. I know what I can do. It didn't do any good the other night. I will take 78 ibuprofens. That might help. It can kill me. I might be immune to ibuprofens now. I don't think this is ibuprofen. I think this is a allergy problem. I'm allergic because my skin was really. These two knuckles 2 weeks ago were bright red, and the skin was cracked. Thank you. The sun liked you too. Well, I retired the alien head because people were complaining it could cause epileptic seizures. So there he is. He's looking. He's searching out barf burgers. And he wants to ask Mr. Alien to cooperate with him and abduct the barf burger and put him on a planet of molten lava with no food, and then he can. He's searching out trolls. I need a robot like this. You know, like Klaatu Barada Pittsburgh. And he would search out and destroy trolls with his laser eyes. Beep, 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 beep. I don't know. There's planets of the peanuts, planets of cauliflower, broccoli, Lost Socks, Lost Keys, 57 DeSotos, you know. Planets where nothing can live. Too hot, too cold, frozen. Moon is a planetoid, but it may be artificial, according to some people I've heard on George and Orion Art Bell. Call the wild card line at 702-685-2177. You won't get an answer, but you can try calling it. I wonder if you could call Art's old numbers and what would happen. I'd give almost anything to hear that voice say, "West of the Rockies, you're on the air." Where am I going to put it 6 weeks? I'm a little cramped in here. So there, I'm going to put the head down. And I could say something too, but I'll tell you that privately. Now I got music in the street here. Yeah, if I had Skype, I could take calls in the dead line. The dead broadcaster line. 925-555-5555. Hello, first time dead, you're on the air. No, it's just some car down there, somebody playing music. Sound like country. I got a grill, it's in the kitchen. That's why I bought the turkey burgers. Oh, please. I can't stand Alan Colmes. He used to get on Fox News and would argue with Hannity and would argue with guy's books, Bill O'Reilly. I don't deal with crazed liberals. That's probably what a lot of these trolls are. They're crazed liberals. They attack me also because I'm a conservative. Call the Pussycat line at 925-554-4444. Don't know. Not going to say. I haven't seen Alan Colmes. I don't have cable, so. What is the fascination tonight with diseases and fluids, and everybody's obsessed with this tonight? It's kind of weird. He did? I didn't know that. First I heard of it. He had his own show too, so everybody's got a show but me. Oh, didn't know that. Nothing against him as a person, I just didn't agree with his politics. Let me try something. Still, ow. Hand. Let me try something silly. Let's see if it's. All right, here we go. Nope, that's not going to work. Ow, that hurt. The edges on this thing are sharp. Well, that didn't work. I have to open the screen door. I'll be right back. I want because Fluffy and little girl may want to come in. If I can get up. Oh, the hand is throbbing. The pain is strong in this one. Oh, oh, that was my knee. What I need is a Barker lounger with phone-in capability. Lie in the Barker lounger. By the way, for the record, it is dark with stars. And I'll show you across the room here. I have about 10 of these. I haven't read them yet, but the Area 51 series. Stepping on something. Piece piece of paper on the floor. I put the trash in. And there he is, the Fluffy. Called the Fluffy Tail line at area code 925. Meow, 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 meow. The Fluffy card line. Whew. Yes, I believe in Area 51. The government's admitted it exists. It's a silly question. Do I believe in Area 51? The question, what's in there and what are they aren't telling us. They've probably, from what I've heard on Coast and on Art Bell, they've moved the aliens. They're not there anymore. That's why I need new equipment. I don't like my computer crashing when I'm doing a video. This doesn't happen, by the way. I'm doing regular videos. Well, that didn't work. The patch just came off my hand, folks. I don't have a KFC bucket. Wish I did, as long as it was filled with chicken. I'm getting hungry. I want you to know officially, hello? Something's fighting my moving my Firefox channel over to the left. I'm not sweating profusely, but it's hot in here. Now this is very odd. I'm trying to move the window. I've got the mouse cursor on the top of the top of the Firefox page, and it's fighting me. No, Kathy said they're $4.99 at Safeway, but I was too tired by the time I got back from Walmart to go get one. I'll get one on Monday, maybe. Well, my shoulder didn't like that. It moved my head and my shoulder and my shoulder blade, and I got a twinge of pain. Didn't feel good. No, mouse not broken. Ow, 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 ow. Where I put it though. Whoop, that didn't work. I gotta stay there. Hold on. There's the mouse. Well, the mouse went somewhere. I had it the other night. It went somewhere. I think a mouse fell in the bed, baby. I don't see it right now. Everything seems to fall in the bed. Oh, I'm confused without angry. The Apple mouse, the wireless mouse. See, I can't even talk either. The mouse may have probably fell in the bed. Everything I put up there falls off the top of the sofa bed into the black hole of my sofa bed. So, and for the record, everybody knows that I would love to have my own show. Not just for the funds, but it's because it would be fun. Didn't get the message. Define crockery. I like Bob Barker, but then I go way back to when Bill Cullen was running, who had medical issues and had to stop. Always wondered why they never said, "Come on up." They were going, "Come on down." Nobody ever said, come on up. All those years. And don't forget to spay and neuter your trolls. There's a guy dropping stuff on the floor again. But, you know, I would consider it to be about 1%. No, if they offered me midnight in the desert, and no, that's my neighbor. My upstairs neighbor. He drops balls and God knows what else on the floor, day and night. Another reason why I want to move. There goes another one. I've complained about it to the management. They don't know anything about it. If they gave me enough money, I'm moving to the desert. I asked him to pay for a bus ticket for 6 weeks, and he comes to the land and make him chop down tumbleweeds and sagebrushes and build his house out of sticks. That's what I do. He'd have a stick house. Then the big bad wolf come and blow it away. Yes, I have. I guess they're ball. They sound like ball bearings or rocks or something. How much do they got? Let's put it this way. I'd have to have medical for my medical issues. I've paid medical, paid dental, paid eye care. And enough to compensate for loss of my disability money. So let's see, they're going to pay Art $75,000 a year, so you got to also have to give me enough to build my complex. So I'm not trying to be greedy. I'll take $150,000 initially, and then I'll work for $50,000 a year. And I'm not going to yell at him, then I can complain. Yeah, I've talked to him one day, and he apologized briefly, and I said, "You're driving me nuts." And I said, "I've told the office about you." "I bet you have." And he still keeps doing it, so it doesn't stop. When I have the time, I will go in there physically and say, "Look, you really have to talk to this guy," because he also runs some kind of weird machinery. It goes, and it's not a vacuum cleaner. It's some kind of device. Maybe he's got a time machine. Maybe I have Madman Markham. I don't know. I don't think Madman Markham is black, though. This guy's black. I need the land to build a container house. And one container section of that house could be my broadcasting studio. So I don't need 75. I can have a tiny house built right now by a company in Texas for $10,000. But I need the land to put it on. By the way, the Wells Fargo, they opened an account in your name. Lawsuit, class action suit has been put over till July for more applicants. So there's more people probably got their names used without permission to open an account in their name than just me. Originally, they said they would probably have the money sent to me in June, which would have been great for Alien Con. Now I won't get it probably till September, maybe October, November, December. I expect it to be at least what they gave me from the last lawsuit, which was $85. For a couple thousand, I'd be ecstatic. A couple thousand, I'll buy my land. And then 6 weeks with Elite, he could take 2 cactuses and string a hammock between them. We cut a little hole out so the coyotes could nibble on his butt at night. Hello, Queenie. I don't know if he has a wife or not. I just like teasing 6 weeks. It's fun. He'd get a couple packing crates and build himself a house that way, temporary house, and a couple tarps from Harbor Freight Tools. Tarps are on sale right now. So are ammo boxes. Maybe I could have 6 week as a guest, but I don't know what the hell he'd talk about other than his ex-wife. If he has an ex-wife, which I have my doubts on too. And wait till you see one of my next items coming in. Yeah. Some stuff I ordered some time ago, it's just trickling in now, like those heads and the thing that got sent to Kathy, which you'll see tomorrow, and the talkie one. And Kathy will probably be talking about the ratty one. Been a while. Company in Texas, I've seen the video on YouTube. They will build a complete tiny house made on a 3D with a 3D printer with concrete, windows, doors, roof, ability to have solar, gutters, floors, walls, electricity, everything for $10,000. We could string up barf burger between a couple cactuses. String them up. No, I'm not that cruel. We don't want the world to be sick to their stomach forever. That's too mean. That's what he says. No, actually, she had money of her own. She put it into the in a trust fund and didn't give him any, and then had him kicked out of the country. Ratty Patty just hit 300. She's at like a warehouse. Why is my mouse cursor moving? Hold on, I'm going to move the pillows and see if the mouse fell inside the bed. Look, it's the sun! I was right. Oh, my hand didn't like that, my shoulder didn't like that, my rotator cuff didn't like that. Oh. And I got a little dizzy. Okay. Everything falls inside the sofa bed. Probably actually Mel's hole in there. Let's see. Troll detector. I'm not sure what a rave is, except where people show up at nightclubs, so I don't have a clue. Okay. Besides, I got to charge that light. I'm using a lot. It's got to be plugged in soon. I don't have a proper mouse for this. Let me see. Okay. Mouse is working. Okay. Mouse is there. Flat. Thing is on my kneecap. Flash. Well, what I really need donations for is AlienCon. I will leave the link. I will mention that PayPal, that's why I prefer checks, takes 80, I think it's 82 cents out of every donation, so. But I will say this, if I ever came into 150 grand, I would take care of 6 weeks. Okay, boys, tie them up to that anthill and pour the honey on them, and don't forget those little rawhide strips. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun. We put it on YouTube. 5-week tenure. Ant's already ate a week off his gut. He lost some instant weight program. Ant therapy. You can smell the formic acid from here. Yeah, I'm going. Tizzy and Eric? Who are Tizzy and Eric? I must be missing something during these chats that I'm not seeing. Or there's some secret going on nobody's telling me about. I don't remember. Maybe you talk about me when I'm gone. What's that song? You'll talk about me when I'm gone, you rascal you, or something like that. Green painted skin, Tizzy is too. Okay. I hope you're not that Bev coming in here again. Ow! I see. I'm confused. I don't know who any of these people are. I can build my complex, put in the driveway and the garage to the container house, and then put a lantern in 6 weeks' hand and make him my lawn ornament. He has to work his land off somehow. He's not going to be paying rent. Doesn't have any money anyway. I don't know what the hell I can grow in the desert. I would have to do Ramona Bell and take the sand out and replace it with dirt. I like these glasses. No idea where I got these from. They do need to be cleaned though, and they may be. One problem with these glasses you get that are plastic, they scratch. Once they're scratched, you can't get scratches out. Let's see who's watching now. Private trolls are watching you. You got 20 people. Wow. It's Saturday night. You don't listen to Lee Cigar. You'll listen to George Senda prattle on about nothing for 17 hours. On the real paranormal radio, or the real unnormal radio. The real Martinez tonight. Whatever the hell I'm trying to say, it's not coming out of my brain right. Must be that alien head's fault. That guy. He did it. Drained my brain. Now I gotta move the thing back. Hello. Uh-oh, I lost the chat now. Hold on. What the hell is going on here? Keep getting flashes of light across the screen. I don't know what's doing that. Okay, there we go. I just like wearing the glasses. I think it makes you look cool. That's right. One day they will erect a monument to 6-week tenure. The man who spent the most nights in a porta potty ever. They'll do stories on him. The curb feeler edition, and the Golden Circle Edition. The circle is the circle in the toilet. If he is really homeless, he comes to the complex and we build it. And if we build it, they will come. And he can live there as long as he wants. Same with Auburn. No, Kathy's not going to wear green paint. And I'm not going to wear green paint. Kathy is a woman not adept in the seamstress arts or the cosplay arts. Yes, the Ouija board works. Art felt that. Nori felt that. I did a video about the Ouija board. They're dangerous. I don't use them. Minds must be broken? Minds? Minds? What minds? I don't get it. How did 6th week know this Queenie Bee and I don't? Sounds conspiratorial. You'll be seeing some new stuff soon. Send me an email. I'm starting to fade. Oh, guys, 3 hours. Excuse me. Oh. I keep missing my eye, or I can't see my eye or feel my eye. Oh, way off. Oh. Other hand, George, that hurts if you do that. Don't do that. Brum, brum. I had a coupon for Dinty Moore beef stew, one of my favorite things to eat, and they didn't have any at Walmart. Okay. Okay, Queenie, have a nice night. Enjoy Hoagland. I wish someone would give me a link to Hoagland's show. I haven't heard it since he moved. I miss Richard. I like Richard very much. Night, Gray. Okay. Let me... Where's my note go? I lost my note. I think it... Oh, there it is. Okay. Other side. Ow! Just stabbed myself with a pen. Kiwi. Okay, got that written down. Well, we use that stood word in the bird too, so I forgive you. Can't help you from Philadelphia. Like stood on, yeah. Stand. Downtown. A lot of practice in my Pittsburghese. I made the sugar. Well, I'm getting sleepy. 2, I'm getting hungry. Now I gotta get up in the morning to take Talkie to Kathy. Now my eyes are tearing. I definitely did not get a lot of sleep last night. Normally I try to take a nap before I do this, but I didn't get a nap either. Not George nap. Now that's curious. I put the mouse on the right side of the MacBook trackpad. It won't work. I put it on the left side. It works. Go figure that out. You'd think they'd be the same. Look like the same surface. Uh-oh, there goes the car alarm again. Beep, 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 beep. I think you'll like what I gave Kathy. I couldn't afford to give her a Valentine's Day present. We were both having trouble, so I got her present late. Then I got to get her something else for her birthday. You do a podcast? You never told me. At least not that I remember. Night, Zen. Zen is one of my true friends and supporters. I love Zen. And I didn't call my friend CR, so I'm going to apologize to him. Well, you wake up, my Mac and my iPad, my MacBook, my iPad be taking our Fluffy, Fuzzy, and little girl. We're doing their own, their kitty cast. Well, guys, I think I'm going to end it. I'm getting very tired. I'm hungry, and I'm having trouble breathing. So, I don't have my asthma medication. It's inhaler time, and it's time to cool me off. So, 6 weeks, be safe out there. Be warm and dry and cool. Wherever you are. I shall consider it, but I think right away I'm going to end this and go have something to eat and go back to nature. Now someone's revving their engine out there. First the alarm, now the guy's vroom, 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 vroom. Never understood that either. Why the hell do you rev your engine? One nice thing about a Toyota Prius, you can rev the engine, but you're not going to hear much. I think it's sad that Hoagland didn't go to the funeral as far as I know. He and Art were very good friends for a very long time. And so was Ramona. Okay, that's it. Stay warm, dry, or safe out there, and cool too. And this is George Sender, the guy from Pittsburgh, who is leaning to the iPad is turned slightly at a 22.5 degree angle, or a 19.5 angle, I don't know which. Thank you for watching and listening, and we love you, Art. And you will, when I get my things in the mail, you will see why I'm waiting to do the Art Bell tribute video, and I will be listening to more stuff with Art. I still got to finish listening to that Periscope with Madman Markham. I want a time machine to tell myself not to spend so much money and make better choices. Although I understand from reading my physics recently, if you go back and touch yourself, both you explode because one of you would be made of antimatter. I don't know if I want to do that. All right. Catch you next time, guys. Also got to soak this hand for a while. See you later. This is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh, with having been the real Martinez tonight. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for being in my room.